Good morning, everyone in the Sable d'Olonne. It's still a little dark outside, and it was a beautiful day here yesterday. Jane and I arrived last night, so we're back home, not even in the office yet. This is a bit of a quick one. We've got a busy day today, and at 9 o'clock I've got another appointment. So I've beaten you all to the mark, and we're here an hour early, so... but there's a few things happening. First of all, when Guy sent us the message, he was after a life raft in Hobart. We had a few people chasing that, and Alex and Jackie were the main lead. It was impossible to get a life raft for Guy for at least many weeks, if not months. But they did find a couple of second-hand rafts, and what we heard yesterday from Julie is that he's managed to secure a raft, and he's just got to...
Jackie.
Sorry, not Jackie. Julie, Guy's...
The life raft from Jackie and...
Oh, okay, so they've bought Jackie and Alex's life raft, okay? And he'll set sail sometime in the next day or so. He's got to modify the life raft bracket, and then he's underway again. So as soon as he gets underway, we'll put posts up on that, and we'll give you all the links for his private page and his tracker and all the rest of it, because under GGR, he's now, once he's made Hobart here, he missed the gate, unfortunately. He was Chichester class, so that means he's out. You can't make two stops with Chichester. There's only a one-stop circumnavigation, and he missed the gate effectively, so that was the main reason he was not able to continue under GGR, and now he's come to Hobart to pick up a raft and continue his adventure, so good luck to Guy. Okay, so right now, Ablish has still got a bit of breeze, Kirsten's in the clear, Captain Goog's running along the edge of it again, and at the back end of the fleet, we'll go into that in some detail as we get there. Auckland, by the way, is being hammered by this cyclone. They're shutting schools and shopping centres and all sorts of things. They're in for some tough times in the next 24 hours with lots of rain and wind and you name it. Anyway, okay, so we'll pick it up here. Ian's actually missing out now. Two things happening with Ian and Jeremy. Jeremy was pushed north with this strong southerly breeze, so he's actually, if we put the grid there, these are the 40s, that's the 40 degrees south mark, and 50 is a little bit further down, so he's above the halfway. He's still in the roaring 40s, but he is pretty high, probably more so than he planned to be. But anyway, he's got pretty good sailing breezes at the moment. His speed has been 5.2 knots. He's made 60 nautical miles towards the rum line, towards Cape Horn in the last 24 hours, but that included quite a bit of going north. Okay, in fact, I should put the just add a bit more of a track there, and you might be able to see him. No, Jeremy's got a funny colour, so it's hard to depict on the colour. Anyway, Ian, not so much breeze, currently doing 3.3. He hasn't been going fast for a while, although because he's been straight lining, he's apparently done 100 nautical miles in the last 24 hours, so that's not so bad. And if we move this weather forward now, you'll see if we go forward to tomorrow, Ian's still very much like winds. Jeremy's got a breeze, so he'll start slowly coming back towards the east, which is a good thing. And then on the 15th, again, Ian, okay, he's got a bit of breeze there, but Jeremy's going to he should be a bit far enough forward to get these southerlies again. There's a little high pressure system forming here between this... let's have a look. I'll take it back and see what's following up here. Okay, that's the remnants of the cyclone. It's gone right across New Zealand in a couple of days, and it's heading this way. So let's just see what that does to the local weather on day 3. So there's day 3. It's pretty much blowing itself out, so Ian will get a northerly breeze. He won't mind that. The sea shouldn't build up too much. Jeremy's got a good run here, a big high pressure system, so he'll have a following breeze and typical westerlies along here, and no complaints at all. In fact, it was good to see Jeremy and Ian actually get through this area after New Zealand without any headwinds. No one's been trapped in 10 days of headwinds like we had in 2018, and this now is classic westerlies, in the roaring 40s. So again, no complaints at all with what's going on. So over to Captain Goog, 6.6 knots and 117 miles in the last 24 hours. He did get pushed up. This heavier breeze was he was just running with that, so he moved off the rum line, but he'll come round pretty quickly. In fact, the next 4 hours you see the tracker, or the next hour, there'll be another position update in an hour. You'll see he's no doubt already come back on course, so that's okay. And I'm going to do the weather together. We'll show you the prognosis for the weather in the next few days, but with Ablish and Kirsten. So Ablish has been doing 6.7 knots, 154 nautical miles in the day. He's happy with that. He's got quite a bit of breeze. There'd be 30 knots forecast there and probably gusting to 40. The sea state, we'll have a look at the sea all round for everyone, see what they're getting. probably a good 5 metres. Yeah, that's a good solid 5, maybe touching 6 every now and then, but well within the limits of Abelish to keep racing, so that's okay. Kirsten's C is backing off a little bit, and Goog didn't quite make the big C's. He's got probably 4.5 knots, 4.5 metres rather. So they're doing pretty reasonable in the C state department. Kirsten, seeing we're looking at them all three at the same time, Kirsten's been making great time, 6.6 knots and 152 nautical miles in the day, closing Cape Horn very rapidly, and that's a good thing because there's a big window coming through. She doesn't have a lot of breeze on the wind graphic here, but she's only 325 miles to Cape Horn, so that would be an easy 3 days, possibly 2.5 days. So we can look at the forecast weather now, so you can assume Kirsten will be around within 3 days. Abelish is quite a bit behind Kirsten now, running at 666 nautical miles, and that's probably a good 5 days for Abelish, maybe less. But let's just assume he's got 5 days. Kirsten's got 3 days. An interesting stat is Captain Goog in relation to Kirsten and Abelish. If we bring this down to the run line, you remember he was a long way behind before. That's probably a fair and reasonable measure for distance behind Abelish, about 800 miles. So he's well and truly in the game here. And remembering that the Atlantic can be very tricky with all the high and low pressures and the decisions you've got to make and so on. So kind of interesting. So we'll get out of that and come down to the weather going forward. If we go forward 24 hours, we'll just jump it forward. Here we go. You'll see that heavy wind that Abelish had completely gone. He's back down to really nice breezes. Same with Kirsten. They'll be doing 6s, 6.5, maybe even 7s, heading down towards Cape Horn. So that's 24 hours for Kirsten. So it's day one. Goog's happy. The breeze up there lets him sail a course again back on the run line. If we go through to the 15th, we come through to the 15th, the next day, Kirsten's going to get a solid southwester. Now she's far enough on the coast to ride this. It's not I'd say that's going to be 30 knots gusting 40. Well, again, within the limits, although she in distance off from the coast. If it was to hang in there, she's basically 135 nautical miles, so she's probably got a day of running if it was really heavy. This is something that we always bring up, sailing down that coast, there's always the risk that you're going to get 60, 70 knots and so on. But if we look at this closely, it's not 60, 70 knots. So I'll just progress this through. This is the second day. She'll be down here somewhere by then. Second day, she'll be down there, and I'm just going to jump this now. So each one of these is an hour, and you can see it's lightening off. It's not getting heavier, so she'll hold her ground. She may close the coast a little bit, and I'll assume she's getting forecast still from Peter over at Passage Guardian. Abelish is still fine going down, so this is 7. This is on the 16th, so that's 3 days ahead. So by then, Kirsten's probably going around Cape Horn, and Abelish is the mid-distance between there and Cape Horn. So we keep running this through. Abelish is still okay, running with a reasonable breeze. He will have interacted with this, but it's all in the right direction there. That's just going to push him around the Horn earlier. We're already into the 17th, which is day 4, and then it's going to go light. But he'll still keep moving, but not as fast on day 4. So I'd say he's going to hold for day 6. So this is now the 18th. So 5, 6. So that's day 5. He's going to be very close to Cape Horn by then. And again, it's a nor'wester, which is exactly what you get to go round. So he's looking okay. He's looking okay. There's no big winds from the wrong direction to catch him out. There's some heavy stuff coming there, but I reckon he'll probably be around it. And the good news, once again, it's nor'west, so it's pushing him around. So both Kirsten and Abelish are pretty good. If you had been watching Michael then, he's going to have some heavy weather, some Southern Ocean weather, but anything like this is way south of him. So he hasn't got any big storms to worry about and huge seas. So the moment the prognosis is really good for all of them. And Simon will be out today. He'll be out in the open again today, and he's on the hunt now to try and catch Abelish and Kirsten. You won't see a ranking for him. He'll be Chichester, the same as Jeremy, but he's on the hunt. He'd love to get back to Les Sables d'Olonne first. But anyway, everyone's got challenges. The turning point here opens up a whole new ball game of tactics and everything else that's going on. So a lot to watch at the moment with the rounding of the Horn. Sorry we missed out on a couple of things over the weekend. I wasn't here, and Lutz and Seb have been busy as well with stuff. But we're back on track now, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.